our dreams. We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a night of laughter as we delve into the world of film and humor. I'm Rusty, your friendly neighborhood motion picture projectionist turned stand-up comedian. You know, they say comedy is all about timing, and as someone who's spent years handling reels and projectors, I've got that down to a science. But before we dive into the comedy, here's a little gem from my manager. Rusty, your projection skills were so off, we had audiences watching romantic comedies during horror films. You're the master of movie mix-ups. So, buckle up, folks. We're about to embark on a cinematic journey filled with laughs, gags, and maybe a few unexpected plot twists. Get ready for a real good time. While working as a motion picture projectionist, this is what my manager said about my work. Rusty, they say your projection skills are so outdated, you accidentally screened a silent movie in color. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. You're like a human special effect instead of explosions. We get projector malfunctions. Just this Wednesday, my colleagues said this about me. You're the only projectionist who manages to make black and white films look psychedelic. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. They say your movie choices are so random, it's like a Netflix algorithm gone wrong. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. You're the reason why people believe in ghosts in a theater. They see you fumbling in the dark. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. They say you once projected a romantic scene onto a horror movie, and it was the scariest part. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. Your idea of a suspenseful thriller is when the projector suddenly shuts off mid-movie. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? You're like a DJ, but instead of spinning records, you're spinning movie reels into chaos. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. Your version of a double feature is playing the same movie twice because you forgot to change the reel. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. Even the popcorn machine has more consistent timing than your projector. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was, you're the only projectionist who thinks that ruining a movie is just hitting the back button. One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work. They say you once projected a documentary on sloths, and the audience thought it was a regular speed action movie. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. Your idea of a director's cut is accidentally chopping off the last 15 minutes of a film. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. You make film grain look like a high-definition masterpiece. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. They say your projection skills are so slow, you turned a 90-minute movie into a marathon. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. Your projector is like a musical instrument. It plays the soundtrack louder than the dialogue. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. They say your favorite genre is experimental because you experiment with every movie you screen. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. You're the reason why people carry flashlights to the theater to help you find the right reel. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. You're the only projectionist who got a movie's rating wrong and played a kid's film in an R-rated screening. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. You're the true master of suspense because nobody knows when the movie will actually start or end. Another day, I went to work and my manager said, they say you're so good at your job that even the film reel is surprised when it doesn't jam. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, you're like a magician, making whole scenes disappear and reappear in the wrong order. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, your idea of a cliffhanger is abruptly stopping the movie and telling the audience to guess the ending. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. They say you once played a horror film backwards, and it turned into a heartwarming family drama. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, You make it seem like the projector and the movie are having an intense argument every time you work. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. You're the only projectionist who adds a laugh track to silent films to keep things interesting. Another day, I went to work and my manager said, "They say your version of a director's commentary is you yelling at the screen. I could have done it better." You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. You're like a DJ with a skip-happy record player, remixing movies in real time. Picture this. My executives comment on my work went something like this. Your idea of an intermission is accidentally breaking the film and taking a long coffee break. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? They say you once projected a romantic movie, but the characters ended up in a horror film's climax. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. You're the reason why moviegoers take bets on how many times you'll mess up during a screening. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. Your projector is like a time machine, but it only goes backward through film history. While working some extra hours, my team said this. They say your movie choices are so eclectic, it's like you're playing Russian roulette with genres. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. You're the only projectionist who thinks fast-forwarding a film is a suitable replacement for action scenes. I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this. They say you once spliced together scenes from different movies, and the result was pure cinematic chaos. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. Your idea of a plot twist is playing the ending at the beginning and working backward from there. So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. You make moviegoers appreciate the silence of silent films because at least there's no projector noise. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. They say your idea of the movies is projecting the same film on 3 different screens simultaneously. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. You're like a film critic's worst nightmare, turning every screening into a comedy of errors. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. They say your movie marathons are so unpredictable, it's like playing a game of cinematic roulette. It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. When you handle film, it's like you're trying to decode an ancient manuscript written in spaghetti. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did, and it was, you once projected a musical, but somehow it turned into a silent film. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. If movie genres were a buffet, you'd be the guy who puts sushi on top of pizza. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. You make film scratches look like modern art. Picasso would be proud. One day this is what my supervisor said about my work. You're the only projectionist who can turn a romantic scene into a horror moment with a simple flicker. So, I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, "You're like a DJ scratching a vinyl record, except the record is the movie, and the dance floor is chaos." Just this Wednesday my colleague said this about me. They say you once played a movie backward, and the actor's performances improved. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, you can make a simple fade-out look like an alien abduction in your screenings. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. Your idea of a double feature is accidentally merging 2 films into one bizarre cinematic experience. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. They say your projector has its own personality, and it's a mischievous prankster. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. You're the only projectionist who considers film reel tangles a form of art installation. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. You once played a documentary on penguins, but it somehow ended up as a sci-fi thriller. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, you make movie night an adventure. The audience never knows what they're going to get. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. They say your version of a director's cut is chopping up the film reel with scissors. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. You can turn any movie into a mystery by randomly pausing and ruining during crucial scenes. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? You're like a film editor on a caffeine overdose, making every screening a frantic experience. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. They say your projector screen has more wrinkles than a Shar-Pei dog. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, you once screened a Western, but the horses galloped backward thanks to your magical touch. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, you can turn a romantic movie into a disaster flick with just a few slip-ups. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. They say your idea of a blooper reel is playing the entire movie as one big blooper. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight for a real adventure in the world of cinema. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you ever need a cinematic roller coaster ride, Rusty's your guy. Remember, when it comes to film projection, I'm not just a professional, I'm a legend. In my own unique way. So, as we dim the lights one last time, let's give a round of applause for Rusty, who can turn any movie into an unforgettable experience. And now, before we go, a message from the manager. Rusty, your projection skills are truly one of a kind. You manage to make every film a surprise, and I mean that in the most unexpected way. Thank you for being here and have a good day. See you on the next one.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Hey, I may be the worst at my job, but at least I'm entertaining. Leave a comment down below, and let me know what your manager is saying about your work. And if you didn't enjoy this show, well, I promise I'll try even harder to disappoint you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay employed, and keep smiling.